Hello everyone watching. Today we'll be deconstructing the concept of Twitter as a tool of diplomacy and its ultimate corruption in an era of fake news. In our current socio-political climate, Twitter has taken on a new role as an echo chamber of ideas and a platform for unrestricted announcements. This utilization of the platform by figures of power has turned this one social media forum into a common practice tool of diplomacy and debate. To put this into context, let's take a look at one such case about the climate of Trump and the Iran deal. It reads, "The Iran deal is done. No time for whining Democrats. It's time to make real change in this country. Hashtag Make America Great." This announcement sparked a proliferation of news which saw posts, articles, and even in some cases a call to arms published from almost every official news outlet from around the globe. However, almost none of what I just said is true. See, in the process of this assignment, we thought it poignant to elucidate how simplistic the creation of fake news could be, and more specifically, how easily we, as the audience, consume and believe the information placed in front of us by outlets of news. That is why only 15% of the information presented within the case study itself was in fact true. Ultimately, we hope this process would demonstrate how the proliferation of fake news is not a myth constructed by us, but in fact a real-world issue which every day grows, with more and more pieces of false data adding onto the teetering tower that is information overload. We chose in this project to focus on Twitter, as it is the most widely used tool of social media for politics. I'm guessing you're familiar with the tree diagram. Well, the classic tree diagram is the perfect example of how information is distributed on social media platforms such as Twitter. On Twitter, coming across fake news is as common as coming across the truth, and the distribution of fake news only needs one person to make an assertion about the topic. Since these posts either contain text, images, or references to online articles, they provide the illusion of integrity. The urge for people to share is irresistible. Fact-checking companies such as Snopes, PolitiFact, FactCheck, Truth or Fiction, Hoaxslayer, and Urban Legends have verified that between 2006 and 2017, approximately 126,000 fake news cascades have been spread by 3 million people 4.5 million times. Fake news and rumours seem to have a direct correlation to political issues. The distribution of false information peaked at the end of 2016 as a result of the US presidential election. It also spiked in 2014 during the Russian annexation of Crimea. One such Twitter scandal is a tweet made by the Associated Press claiming that Obama was injured in an explosion at the White House, resulting in Twitter stocks being wiped out by $130 million. It is commonly known that Twitter is used by politicians to cover up their scandals and leaked information. This is an effective method because studies show that fake news on Twitter travels 6 times faster to 1,500 people than true information does. So as we know, information overload is a term used to describe the difficulty of understanding an issue and effectively making decisions when one has too much information. This is what happened during the 2016 US presidential elections, when there was excessive fake stories and fake news being spread by people rapidly on social media. These are a few examples of fake stories published using fake Russian Twitter bots, as well as the circulation of fake news. These are some examples. In the first picture, we can see an advertisement edited urging and encouraging Americans to cast their votes for Hillary Clinton via text, which was an invalid way to vote. The next photo is actually a tweet showing a photoshopped image of a comedian, encouraging voters to submit their votes for presidents through Twitter, which was yet another illegitimate way to vote in a US election. This next tweet shows how organic content from accounts with Russian ties may have spread. President Trump retweeted this tweet from a fake account run by Russians and even replied to the tweet. His campaign manager and Donald Trump Jr. also retweeted the account. More specifically, Twitter is to blame for the spread of thousands of fake news stories and fake tweets. The vast spread of fake news stories can lead to information overload as well in its own way. ABC News also reported that Russian President Vladimir Putin was involved and ordered a hidden campaign to influence the US elections to favor Donald Trump. Part of the problem is caused due to technological advances in production and distribution of information. We have reached the point of saturation and need to have limitations on the information we view and take in. Overall, Twitter makes political discourse more accessible. However, there are limitations with their 140-character limit per tweet. This oversimplifies the context of the campaign and makes it more difficult for people to get a greater understanding of the candidate's ideas. Trump has consistently generated media coverage from traditional outlets thanks to his tweets. Twitter, as an extremely powerful website, can voice information such as rumours, fake news, events, political views, and opinions, all for millions of people to see and acknowledge. The reality of it all is that coming across fake news is as common as reading the truth. We have all probably encountered fake news once or twice before in our lives, and as it only takes one person to make an assertion about the topic, it is safe to say that we will probably encounter it again in the near future. Fake news and rumours have a strong connection to politicians, the political debate, and political issues, with Twitter being used as a platform for politicians to cover up their scandals and leaked information, ensuring that no harm is done to them or their careers. This is linked with information overload, which can be used as an extremely dangerous ruse for politicians to trick the public into voting for them with false promises and details that aren't true, which can eventually lead them to win the elections. Twitter is a powerful source to showcase material and excessive amounts of data and will continue to influence millions of individuals every day with information, whether that be true or false. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you've learnt something new today.